gang, some of you have asked about my makeup routine. This was the Gwen Stefani Give brand that's in the pink color. It is an eye base. I hardly use any. A little goes a very long way. And I just kind of pat it on the lower half. It does dry down and it becomes very long wear. So you've got, 15, 30 seconds to play with it. And I put it towards the base of my eye. As you can see, I just kind of slop it on. I'm in a hurry. I feel like I'm always in a hurry for work or whatever I'm doing. And I take my sponge, which I really need to be getting a new sponge. This one's about had it. And I just kind of wipe it out of the way. I do wash it off my fingers. I always have weird crap in my hair, as you may have noticed from my videos. And this is actually kind of a scrunchie that I'm wearing. I feel a little bit like, what is it that the Jewish men wear? I forget what it's called, but anywho, feel a little bit like that today. And then I take my brush and I just kind of mix this in, smoothing it out. And then I'm going in with, this is a Sephora Color Shifter palette, and I'm going to use this darker kind of mauve and just kind of put a little of that over just to deepen the color. It makes it not so sheer. If I were really performing or something where I really wanted it thick, I would put an eye base under that eye base, even though technically it is an eye base. I kind of sometimes clean as I go. Wearing the pink is very geisha girl. I don't know. Maybe I'm having past life flashbacks. And then I have kind of this stubby stout brush that I love. This is one of Mario's highlighters. And I put that under the brow just to lighten up. And as you can see, I'm just kind of go a little bit more than I need. Kind of looks a little like a clown. And then I go back in and kind of blend that line with the same brush. All right, now this is the time that I am going to go back in. And today let's use this gold glitter. I find with a lot of the glitters, if you use a brush, you waste a lot of it. If I was really going for like an opaque glitter look, I would lay down some of the glitter glue and go for that. But I just want a little pop of gold. The sun is shining in Ohio, and that just makes my heart so happy. Just a little. Okay, a little more light. I like to do my eyelash curler now. And some people get crazy with going 3 times. I'm fairly blessed with decent lashes. So I just give them a curl toward the base. Most of them are kind of that sandy blonde color, so once I get mascara on them, then they kind of, they're not disguised anymore so much. All right, now when I go in with my liquid eyeliner, this is just a cheapie. It is the Infallible L'Oreal. I stink at cat eyeliner, so I have to kind of cheat it. And for me, using these pens helps me cheat. Now I'm going to have to look in the mirror, but I kind of arch up. As we get older, we want to draw attention up on the eye. And then I go in with the side and just kind of fill. And then I kind of find where I have that line and just thicken it out a bit. And just having the liner on a higher diagonal is more forgiving for older, mature skin. And honestly, a lot of ladies are having different surgeries to give what they call the fox eye. Clearly, Erica has not been fillered or filtered. You're seeing it as is. This is the Wonder Skin eyeliner. This one is in Aqua. I have the regular blue too. I just grabbed this one first. And I'm going to tight line. It's hard for me to see in the camera, but I'm going to look. And I just kind of, again, smush it in there. I'm not the best at super great technique. I just get it done. But what I love is once this dries down, it is on, I don't want to say forever, but you have to use a cleaner to get it off. And I just kind of slap some on the bottom. Sometimes I use a brush. Today I'm using my smudger. But what's nice is as we get older and we're using more emollient eye creams and such, once it dries down, it doesn't leak or melt into all of our eye care. And I like that about it. I actually bought it in almost every color because I liked it that much. All right, now this is a NYX Jumbo. It cranks, turns up, and it is a highlighter, but I like it for the center of my eye. I just kind of do a dab and a dab. And then I go back to my highlighter brush that's kind of short and stout. Where did you go? Here it is. And I just kind of smush it in the corner. It just opens the eye a little bit. But if we put too much of that white all the way on the lid like we did in our 20s, 30s, and who are we kidding, 40s, then it gets too crazy and starts to show all of the texture. All right, I like to do my bottom lashes first. I'm going to look in the mirror. And I'm pretty sloppy with it because having longer eyelashes, if I really took the time to diligently take my time, I would still, they're just, if I really want to coat the lash, I have to be a little sloppy with it and let it kind of turn like a little raccoon. And then I kind of wiggle from the base. And I sleep really on all my sides and on my face, and that's not good for aging skin, but it's just how God made me. But the left lashes are always a little wonkier. Notice I made a boo-boo. I'm going to leave that there and let it dry. If I wipe it now, it's going to get crazy black smudging everywhere. If I let it dry, because this is the Tartelette XL mascara, which is, what do we call that? Tubing mascara. So once it dries, it will kind of be like a powder to come off. And then I usually go over the left eye again because, again, since I sleep on that side, the lashes get a little crazy. But I don't get too weird about it. And then any boo-boos, any cleanup on aisle 10 is going to happen when that dries. So I know it's not for everybody, but being a retired dancer, especially being blonde, I've always had to make sure when I performed, I had a lot of brows on so people could see me. I've been experimenting with this Anastasia pencil because it's kind of like a blade, and I really love it. Most makeup that I wear is some sort of a clean brand. I don't think this is necessarily clean, but I do really enjoy it. This color is, can I read it? I don't have my bifocal, ash brown. I am a neutral undertone. So certain things that are like a light brown or a dark blonde can turn orange on me. And I find I do color my eyebrows myself, and then I go to Miss Zalpa. I'll have to tag her on this video. She really does the real work and cleans them up, and I just fill them in between visits. And I made a little boo-boo there, but it's pretty forgiving. And honestly, I mostly use it on the inside, but today I thought I'd see what it's like on the outside. And again, I just kind of slap through it. There are days that I have time to be fancy and take my time. Today is not that day. I really love the Revitalash Brow Gel. I did not find anything razzle-dazzle with the Revitalift Mascara or the Revitalift Lash Serum, but I do love this. And one of the reasons why I think I've kept my eyebrows through menopause, and I pray to God it stays that way, is because this does help to grow your eyebrows, but also the bloom right here, the Ultra Firm Eye Peptide helps to regrow your lashes and keep your lashes long and full, but I always make sure to get it on my eyebrows so that it keeps them full. And what I do is I start off and I just kind of brush up to get the bulk of it. And this has microfibers in it, so if you have sparse lashes, it fills it in. And then I kind of lay it on its side just to kind of schlep those microfibers up there a little bit more. It just helps it be quick. And again, we're going to do cleanup on aisle 7 here in a minute because you can see it's all on the side of my eye. I brush up and I just kind of rotate the brush so that I can get more microfibers. What I like about this is when it dries stiff, but it doesn't feel crispy or crunchy in a weird way. I do also like the Thrive brand, but that one they don't get as stiff and it doesn't have the same kind of microfibers. Or maybe it does, but it's just not as thick as the Revitalash. And then I kind of come up and around to clean that up. And the other side. Now I'm going to go in and get all the weirdness. So as you can see, just a little dab will take that off. I come underneath, do a little swipe. And going through this process, it does remove some of my eye makeup or my under eye cream. And we've talked about this before. This is like the worst part on my skin, if you will, because I'm a contact lens wearer and I've just been tugging at that forever. Now I am going to put on my Wonder Skin. This is called First Kiss. It's supposed to be a deep cranberry. It's a lip stain. I have fine lines from sleeping on my side, and if I wear a lot of lipsticks or certain glosses, it leaks into that, and it's really makes me feel like an old lady, and I don't like that feeling. So I'm going to be quiet while I do this. And this is a mask. It's blue in the beginning. I use a fairly thick covering. When I want a more opaque look. And I'm just going to let that sit on there for a minute. Now, and usually I actually do the lip stain before I do my mascara so that it really has time to melt. I got this new fun bronzer. It's bronzer or bronzer and contour. And I really don't like to wear a lot of foundation. It's rare, but it's been fun to play with it. I'm getting more sun on my chest and arms than on my face, but I really don't want to use foundation. It's got a nice thick doe foot. It really doesn't take much. I just do a couple dots, and I really kind of do it as almost as a blush. And then this is fun. Just why not? You could even put it under the lip, but I already have the stain. And then I like to take a stiff brush to stipple. It takes really very little. I probably put way more on than I needed. So part of the reason why my sponge looks crazy is because I've been sopping up the excess on my sponge, which is why I'd like to get a new one going. And trying to really stipple and gently spread it out versus brushing it off is challenging for me. As my mama used to say, patience is a virtue, and it's not always my strong point, as you can tell from hurry up and get ready for work. And just to add some warmth to my face. And then I kind of come in here to slim the chin. And then what I do, because there is some left and there is a discrepancy in my color from my face to my chest, I just brush it down, and it's almost like a nice tint where it makes my face kind of match a little bit better. Now, when I brush off some of my eye cream, I've been playing with Michaela's Snatch It. It's not that it's a bad product, but I'm really spoiled with the Bloom line. I'm going to use this one up, but it's just really does nothing magical for wrinkled skin. I've just got amazing, bigger, better eye creams with Bloom. But it's got a little applicator that you can put a couple dots. I really could have done this before I did my bronzer. And then the tip is nice and cool. But what I find is, unless you put very little on, if you just wipe it around and leave it, it gets thick and weird, and it does weird stuff. And then I like to put what's left around my little lip lines. And then I'm going to pat it in. If I have anything left, I might put it on my my wrinkles and my fine lines. So again, it's not that it's a bad product, it's just what I sell and utilize. If you use code Erica, you get a discount and free shipping. Just gonna kind of go back and restipple. All right. Now, usually at this point, I would go in and spray my D'Alba First Spray Serum. I really like how that looks, but I am gonna use a little of this One Size blurring powder. This is light. I don't really feel it blurs, but it is a baked powder, which helps have a little more hydration than some of our other powders. And for this, I'm going in with just a little powder puff and just rub a little, and I'm just gonna take a little bit of a, and honestly, it's rare that I ever do this. I usually just do the D'Alba spray and run with it. But, you know, why not for funsies? Just a little dab. Now, with the Wonder Skin lip stain, I love them. And they have like an activator that they try to sell you that you spray to peel it off. But when you do that, it'll drain down and actually stain where you don't want it to stain. So what I have found is the best solution for me is I take a paper towel and I get it fairly wet and squeeze it off. You want to be a little mindful of how you're taking it off because you don't want to wipe it to another area of your mouth and have it stain. And I could have left it on a little longer for a little more color, but this is fine. I'm happy with that. And you just want to blot it off. Make sure you get all of your blue mask off. And again, you can make this darker. You could go in again. Now, one of my new favorite things for about the past year, Queen Cosmetics or Freaky Friday. They have the most stellar, this one is Freaky Friday 2, lip glosses with glitter. Now, Wonder Blade has this great like glitter and red, but it kind of seeps into my fine lines in my lips. If I'm gonna just wear it for a couple hours, it's great. If I'm gonna want it longer, then I'm going in with this. And this is Freaky Friday, and then I also really love Queen Cosmetics, and they've got some psychedelic ones. So from here, it's a nice fat doe foot. All the glitters might be gold. And a lot of these glitter lips, you can't really see or appreciate unless you use a backlight. I'm not about any of that today, but I really enjoy it. You can even overdraw your lips to make them look a little bit larger. And you know, what the heck, why not at this point? You want to really shake this because it's an oil water mix, and just a little spritz. And there you go. Now I'm gonna see if I can show you the glitter a little bit differently. And then glitter on the eyes. So that's it. Have a great day, and hope this gives you some ideas. I'm always learning wonderful things from watching makeup artists through the TikTok and whatnot, but I like to keep it simple. Peace out.